The galaxy had a bad habit of writing things off. Lost colonies, fallen empires, entire star systems swallowed by black holes, just names etched into databases, politely forgotten so the trade tariffs and robe ceremonies could continue uninterrupted. Humanity had been written off too. Extinct, they said. Vanished 2 centuries ago in a cataclysm of their own making, just another species too reckless to survive the long game. Some mourned, some shrugged, most filed the humans under tragic but inevitable and moved on. Until one day, the void lit up with fire, and the myth walked back onto the stage. It started at the Forum of Civilized Species, that grand amphitheater of smugness. The Zathri delegate, shimmering in gold thread robes, had just finished reciting an entire speech about the lesson of human extinction. Let this be a reminder, he clicked, mandibles rattling, that civilizations who embrace violence and improvisation cannot endure. Let us never again permit such chaos in our orderly galaxy. Polite applause. A few yawns. Then, the doors hissed open. A human walked in. Not a ghost. Not a hologram. Flesh, blood, and the kind of smile that made people instinctively check their will. He wore no robe, no jewels, just a dark uniform with a crooked tie and the posture of someone who owned the floor without asking permission. He strolled down the aisle as if he'd been late to a family barbecue, not an event where his entire species was officially categorized as dead. The chamber froze. Even the translators paused. The human, Captain Adrian Locke, though no one knew that yet, stopped at the center, looked around at 3,000 stunned aliens, and said cheerfully, "Well, looks like we missed the funeral. Hope you saved us a plate." Chaos erupted. Shouted protests, fearful hisses, whispered curses. Impossible. They were gone. Extinct. Adrian Locke waited for the noise to die down, hands clasped behind his back, smile never faltering. When silence finally returned, he leaned toward the microphone. "Funny thing about extinction," he said. "It's only permanent if you stop breathing. And we," his eyes gleamed, "have been very busy breathing." The chamber recoiled. The Polari ambassador trembled. "You, humans, what is your purpose here?" Locke's smile widened. "Purpose? Oh, nothing dramatic. We're just here to collect what's ours." "And what is that?" His voice dropped into velvet menace. "Justice." The war began 3 weeks later. The Krail Dominion, self-proclaimed apex predators of the galaxy, had long ago declared the humans extinct. In fact, they had helped make it happen. Old enemies, the kind who whispered in shadows and pushed the final button when Earth burned. Now the swarm spread outward, unchallenged, consuming border species. The Forum wrung its hands and passed new resolutions about condolence protocols. Then the humans came. Not with whispers. With a war fleet. The first sighting was over Wild-Th Prime, a planet days away from falling. The Dominion had already seeded the skies with hive ships. The locals prepared for mass evacuation. Then the void tore open. Human ships emerged, not sleek perfection, but blunt, brutal, alive. War carriers bristling with guns, frigates patched together with suspiciously familiar civilian hulls, dreadnoughts whose very presence bent sensors out of shape. And at their head, the resolute Dawn, Locke's flagship. The galaxy had forgotten the human way of war. It remembered quickly. The swarm struck. The humans answered with laughter. Literally, open comms crackled with it. Pilots joked as they dove through firestorms. Engineers swore cheerfully as they patched hulls mid-battle. Someone even blasted rock music across the void, a defiant hymn as missiles streaked toward impossible targets. The swarm recoiled. Predators weren't used to prey that hunted back. One Serati civilian, watching from her shattered city, recorded the moment. A human fighter spiraled through 3 swarm interceptors, engine trailing fire, and before exploding, the pilot shouted into the open channel. Not while we breathe. The phrase went viral. The galaxy that once thought humans extinct now whispered those words like a curse and a prayer. The battles multiplied. At Vera's gate, humans turned orbital mining rigs into kinetic railguns, slamming asteroids into swarm carriers. At Threxon's nebula, they lured the enemy into an ion storm and fried them like moths in a bug zapper. At Savor's Reach, they hijacked the swarm's own biosignals and redirected half the fleet into a sun. The galaxy watched, horrified and enthralled. The humans weren't just fighting. They were performing. Each victory a spectacle, each defeat calculated, each move dripping with a sense of inevitability that chilled even their allies. It wasn't random madness. It was theater with blood as the ink. Alien leaders sought out Locke, desperate to understand. Ambassador Valari of the Teshari asked bluntly, "Why reveal yourselves now? Why not stay hidden?" Locke sipped tea, actual tea, imported at ludicrous expense, before answering. "Because timing is everything. You can't win a war in secret. You win it when everyone's watching." The ambassador's feathers rippled uneasily. "And what do you want the galaxy to see?" Locke's grin sharpened. "That the dead don't stay dead. That the forgotten don't forget. And that when humans come back, we don't come back small." The climax came at Kala Rift, where the Dominion unleashed its grand fleet, a monstrosity of living warships, tentacled leviathans designed to consume entire planets. The Forum prepared obituaries. The Serati prepared last prayers. The Swarm prepared to feed. The humans prepared a trap. The fleet entered the rift, seemingly retreating. The Swarm pursued, victorious roars echoing across subspace. Then the rift lit up. Human engineers had seeded the entire sector with folded space charges. Stolen technology warped into something new. At Locke's signal, the rift collapsed, not destroying the Swarm, but locking them in, a prison of warped gravity and endless storms. Half the Dominion fleet vanished, sealed away for eternity. The other half broke and ran. The galaxy gasped. Humanity laughed. Locke's voice carried across the comms, calm and polite as ever. "Extinction, my friends, is a game of perspective. You thought we were extinct. Turns out, it's your turn." The war ended with silence. The Swarm scattered. Humanity stood revealed. The Forum convened in terror. "You risk everything," croaked the Polari ambassador. "Why? Why fight this way?" Locke stepped forward, smile never fading. "Why? Because extinction isn't the end. It's the setup. You left us for dead, and that was your mistake. We don't die quietly. We plan. We wait. And when the time is right..." He spread his hands. "We arrive with a war fleet." The chamber trembled. "Begun. And don't forget," Locke added, voice silk and steel, "we didn't just come back for vengeance. We came back for the galaxy. Because if you ever turn your backs again, you won't have to worry about the Swarm." His eyes glinted with that human brand of cheerful menace. "You'll have to worry about us." And somewhere, deep in the rift where the Dominion was trapped, human signals flickered through the storms. Not rescue signals. Not distress calls. Instructions. Because humanity hadn't just trapped the Swarm. They had kept them alive. Bait. A weapon waiting for the day humanity decided to unleash it. The galaxy thought humanity extinct. Humanity thought the galaxy naive. And the game had only just